I'm back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to both Blind Press channels, Twitch and YouTube. I hope you're all having a good day, a good Tuesday evening. We are here and we started with Muse because why the fuck not, right? Why the hell not start off with Muse? Because we reopened Parliament today. Mark Carney has lost his mind. He is worse than Justin Trudeau. He is not going to be taking questions the way that Trudeau did. Now, Trudeau never really answered the questions that he was given, but at least the questions were out there for people to hear. And at least we could hear Trudeau's non-answers and make decisions accordingly as to whom we wanted to have to be our leader. No, not anymore. We're not going to even hear Mark Carney respond to questions. He is apparently above answering questions, and so that's not going to happen. We did not have a question period today. I checked. We did not have one, but I will check tomorrow. We will see if there is going to be one. I will be streaming during the day tomorrow, multi-streaming. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to keep the multi-streaming up for gaming or if I am going to just do it for the chatting stuff. We'll see. I will figure it out. I'm thinking, yes, I will multi-stream for the gaming too, just to extend audience reach. Because thank you to Hasan, Twitch ad revenue is in the dump, and we will be covering that as well as the politics stuff. Don't worry, we are not just doing politics tonight. We are talking about Hasan and his insanity as well. And this is going to be an interesting return to streaming. Now, I will not be streaming Friday afternoon or during the day. I may do a stream at night. But I finally get to go to the orthopedic surgeon to see what's wrong with my hip. Everybody here knows that my hip and my back have been bothering me for years. So we'll hopefully be able to figure out why the hell my hip is killing me all the time. But beyond that, I will be back multi-streaming for the foreseeable future, and hopefully we'll be able to have a good consistent time in here watching different crap politics wise, watching different shitlord things. I've missed a lot of stuff. I have missed a lot of stuff. We've had the Buffalo school system shenanigans going on with angry cops and the Unsubscribed podcast, and holy crap, we discovered that when you piss off the fat electrician and he has nothing better to do because he's torn his bicep and can't do anything else, that's scary. When Nick has nothing else to do and a freaking computer and emails and printers and just holy shit, the freedom of request or the freedom of information requests he's been asking or getting on the Buffalo school system, the district attorney, the fucking attorney general, oh my god, all this stuff that Nick has been finding out about Buffalo and the school system and the administration, and just holy shit. He is invested in this shit now. It's crazy to see. And it's not over. We know that. So there's going to be that to cover. And we all know that the Hasan shit isn't over yet either, so that's gonna be something to cover. It's gonna be, there's gonna be lots to deal with, despite the fact that Parliament is only open until the end of June. Yes, you heard that right. They're only back for a month. And then they're gonna go on summer holiday because they so earned it, you guys. They so earned it. They've been working so very hard these past 6 months that they've not been doing a goddamn thing. Oh boy. Oh, this is crazy. I'm just completely, it's insane to me. But yes, share the stream. Let's get some more people in here. And I have right here, Pincalo brought this home for me. I did a little short video about it. This is bottled boxed wine. It's called Frisky Beaver, apparently. And it feels like a Tim Hortons cup. It legitimately feels like a Tim Hortons cup, just in bottle form. And it's very funny to feel. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't tried it yet. It's apparently a 12% wine out of Norfolk, Canada. I think that's Nova Scotia, Norfolk. I could be wrong, but that is what I believe. I think it's Nova Scotia is Norfolk. There could be a Norfolk, Ontario as well. There's so many Norfolks. But yeah, that's basically our intro back into restreaming. I'm gonna pull up our window because we're gonna start with our political stuff. Get that stuff out of the way. And come on, Chrome. Catch up. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, King Charles III opens Parliament. Let's see. Should we jump right into that? No, let's... First, we're gonna look at this video real quick, because it seems interesting to me. It says, women are better employees. And this is this is from Abba and Preach. And I enjoy these guys. We all know that. And they have found a video from a CEO that has some very weird, biased views on women employees. So let's take a listen to this and ease ourselves into the stream before we jump into the throne speech.
A lot of them are women on my
Today's topic.
A lot of them are women on my team.
I have mostly women too. Why is that?
I have 10 reasons why. Men are pieces of shit, first and foremost. They just want to steal everything from you. And yes, I'm talking to you if you're a male right now. Men are wired me, 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 me. Women are wired we, right? They want to support and support and support. And they don't ever care about getting the limelight. They
What women is he talking about? Because there's a reason I get along better with guys. And it is specifically because they are the opposite of how this man is describing. Like, I'm sorry, but most of the women in my life have been incredibly competitive, incredibly cutthroat. All the girls that I ever did group work with in school were very much me first and my grades and my work and my part of this, and I only want to do what is allotted to me in the group work, and I don't want to do anything else. Moving on to, like, from that, you know, like, just watching women in relationships, I just don't understand what he's talking about.
Understand you getting the limelight benefits them.
Yeah.
Men are like, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Rich is getting the limelight. They're going home at night and
Now,
No.
I have a lot I want to say, but I'm going to just let him speak, and then we'll kind of go piece by piece.
Oh yeah, see, this is why I like Abba.
they're going home at night and writing down all the notes of like, what did I learn from Rich today so I can go and do my own thing.
One thing I noticed is like a lot of these males are a lot more sensitive than women. And women tend to have better work ethic.
Better attention to detail.
Yes.
And when you say sensitive, you mean the dudes are like, I just don't want to work that hard.
Or they're sensitive to constructive criticism and conversations, where the women are a little bit less sensitive. They're more loyal. It's not that I've intentionally done it, but it's just kind of like happened that way.
I came from
I don't know if they're more. Is it more loyalty or is it more like? I don't know what word to describe it.
a family of 8 sisters
think it's
and
loyal.
3 brothers. So I have 12 kids in my family. I thought it came from that, but naturally I just found the better people for the job.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have women on my team. My team is all women. Not because men are pieces of shit. It's just that what I found was that women work more into that field, into the organization field. It's more a fact of what you're gonna find. So it's not so much that I wanted to work with women because men are pieces of shit. It's really just because there are a lot more women that work in that field, and therefore, if there's a lot more women that work in that field, the chances that the ones that are very efficient are women or more, and it just
That makes more sense. Like, for example, women in nursing. Like, would you say that all male nurses are pieces of shit? No, there are just more female nurses because they tend to gravitate towards that job. Like, administration, organization, that's like the way that Preach is saying. Like, you'll find more women in those areas, so of course you're gonna have more women on your team. It's not because it for him to sit there and be like, men are pieces of shit, that feels like a male feminist virtue signal to me.
it just fell on that.
Men are wired me. Women are wired we, right? They want to support and support and support, and they don't ever care about getting the limelight. They understand you getting the limelight benefits them.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. There are plenty of women that would kill you for the limelight.
Yeah.
Men are like, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Rich is getting the limelight. They're going home at night and writing down all the notes of like, what did I learn from Rich today so I can go and do my own thing.
If it was the case, and maybe that's just a straw man, or we wouldn't be this wouldn't happen. Because there's some times that I'm taking a spot and you're like, this ain't me, and you literally step out. You literally step out of this. You're like, no, God, that ain't me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You go ahead. There's also times where you do videos alone.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was the case, I'd be like, what the fuck was that?
And he's
Yeah, exactly. Like, these two men are running a channel together, and neither of them are pissed off that the other one might get more attention in a video or might say more in a video. Like, that's dumb to say that only men want the limelight, and they get pissed off that another man has the limelight. I very much disagree with that.
and he still gets his cut.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yes.
Just saying. I do all that research for him and still gets his cut.
Yeah, well, that was a decision that you took. So.
True. And I cry every night about it.
And I cry every night about it.
Oh, poor thing.
See,
But yeah.
men, me. All right. I want to listen more.
One thing I noticed is like a lot of these males are a lot more sensitive than women. And women tend to have better work ethic.
Better attention.
Why did he make that weird voice? Did you guys hear that?
Me. All right. I want to listen more.
One thing I noticed is like a lot of these males are a lot more sensitive than women. And
Like, he just made his voice go all weird for those 3 words. More sensitive than women. Like, it was just weird. Why did he do that?
Men tend to have better work ethic.
Better attention to detail.
Yes.
And when you say sensitive, you mean the dudes are like, I just don't want to work that hard.
Or they're sensitive to constructive criticism and conversations, where the women are a little bit less sensitive. They're more loyal. It's not that I've intentionally done it, but it's just kind of like happened that way.
This guy, especially this dude, I'm like, bro, what?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know a woman that takes constructive criticism well on the first. Like, I'm trying to go back through my life and think of a woman that I know personally or that I've met through my life that I've heard be criticized and has gone, oh, okay, the first time. And I can't.
What male hurt you? Like when he talks about, they just want to steal your shit, and I was like, okay,
what happened?
But if you guys really pay attention to what a lot of this guy is saying, he's not valuing these women because of necessarily what they contribute. He's valuing them because I feel like it's a bit of a sense of control.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? The things he values when he mentions the loyalty and all these things, if you listen closely enough, I'd be very much questioning how he structures his company, how he pays these people.
But then again, the thing is,
that's a very good point. Does he pay these women a good wage? Does he pay them a living wage?
I don't know this dude, but I can relate to other people, so I'm gonna talk about that. Whenever they talk about, oh yeah, you loyal, it's really just because it's about some fuck shit that you asked them to do, and they still stayed, and they're like,
yeah. And when you say you're loyal in that context, it's almost rubbing it in the person's face that they've stayed despite all the fucked up shit you've done to them. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, well thanks for your loyalty. No, that was bullshit. Yeah. Or you asked me to take a bullet for you. Yeah, you're loyal. Yeah, but you're also trying to fuck me over.
Yeah, exactly. Better said. Much better said than what I just said.
I will say, whenever an employer starts yapping about loyalty, I'm like, bitch, if you loyal to me, talk to me about raises without me asking you. Like, I'll say this about the people. When they work for me and they're doing good, I just give them raises. Why? Because if they're doing good for me, that means we're making more money. They're making more money. I don't gotta have you ask me for a raise. I'm gonna just give it to you.
No.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't have to go to your boss when everybody knows that the company is doing better and be like, please, sir, sir, may I have a pittance more? You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be that way. The company should be like, you know what? We're doing better all around. We've cleared the books. We're in the red, or we're in the black. And the black is what we want, right? Yes, in the black. In the red is bad. In the black is good. We're in the black, and I'm gonna give everybody a bit of a raise without anybody asking. You know, like, that's a good boss.
No.
That's how I personally operate. I hate personally when, oh, you're so loyal, you've been with me for so long. Don't do that. Don't emotionally attach me to this job so it's easier for you to keep me making you more money while you get richer and I don't see a dime of that extra work.
I hated that.
My grandmother worked for the government for 30-something years. And when she retired, instead of, like, a good like, she got an okay, like, she got a small retirement package, but she has to now rely on, like, Canada pension, right? They gave her a ring. They gave her a fucking ring. And it was like, really? You can afford to give me a ring, but you can't afford to extend my retirement package or, you know, bolster it up a little bit for me so that I can be comfortable in my, you know, old age after working for you for 30 fucking years. You give me a ring. Ooh, boy, thank you so much.
Fuck out of here.
I fucking hated that when I worked in corporate world.
Yeah.
And then these motherfuckers at the town hall used to, like, the president of the faction of that faction of the company used to come down at the town hall and be like, congratulations, people. We've been able to make $2.3 billion this semester.
Here's a pizza.
Bitch, okay. Does that mean that we get something? No, but you get pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Here you go. Here's a pizza pie. We've made all this money. The CEO's just got a fucking $100,000 raise and a car. But you guys get pizza. Congratulations. Like, holy fuck.
What the fuck?
Oh, you got no money for
Fuck.
you got hold
A
on.
box of donuts?
You got no
Yep.
money to give us an extra $2 to $3 grand a year, but you got open bar for 500 people. Kill yourself. Yo, I don't give a fuck about your loyalty. If you want me to be loyal, you should reward me. When I give you and help you get a bigger share of the pie, pay me, bitch.
Yeah, without having to be asked. Just fucking do it. And this isn't, like, this is common sense. This is, like, you shouldn't have to be part of the corporate world to know this.
Give me some crust.
That's it.
Give me some crust. At
I'm
least
telling
the
you,
crust.
anybody who's an employer who starts yapping about loyalty,
It's
be
weird.
Very
It's
red
weird.
flag.
It's weird. I don't care about the loyalty. There's a girl that I follow on social media. Her name is The Real Veronica. Mm-hmm. And she always gives examples of how to talk to your employer about. They always do some fuck shit, and she is everything that I wish I could say to an employer.
I think I've heard her reels before. A female who does, like, skits about, like, the employer will come up to you and one of them, I think, was she was about to go home for the day, and her employer was like, "Oh, you're still here. Good. I need you to do more, like, do some overtime for me tonight. Just finish this report." And she was like, "Oh, good. So this will be reflected on my check, right? These extra hours?" "Oh, no. This is just a favor to me." I was like, "Oh, no, I don't think so." Like I've seen those skits before.
About the raises, them giving us pizza.
Yeah.
You wanted to stay extra hours. Am I going to be compensated? Am I going to be compensated? Compensated?
You just
Compensated.
had
Am
a
I
French moment.
going to be compensated? No, it's just, you're being a team player. Oh, I'm staying extra hours. I'm being a team player.
Yeah.
But you're not being a team player about, paying me my wage.
Exactly.
This is abuse.
Absolutely.
It's not being a team player. It's not loyalty. It's abuse.
Absolutely.
Okay? And they do that.
Preach. They definitely do that. So just mind that. And also, it's so funny. Like, they're painting this whole thing like it's so great. Women are just essentially like, I could just make more money off of women. I want to ask you, dude.
Basically, that is true. I listened to this already before, but I didn't catch that the first time. And that is a good point. Like, for this dude, it really feels like he's basically saying, I can make more money by employing women, so I employ women.
These dudes like, how much do you pay them? Do you pay them? I just want to ask.
The thing is,
I want to ask.
yeah, it's everything that they say. I can find an example in each group, woman or woman, that support what they say, and I could do the same thing with something that breaks what they say. So I'm like,
Yeah, listen, I've been on both ends.
it's not that extreme. I don't think it's that extreme, but go ahead.
I've been on both ends, as the employee and the employer. I've had to hire people, had to fire people. Only had to fire men so far. That's a fact. So I've only fired one person. Just letting it happen. But I think what Preach touched on earlier is just true. Certain departments, they're just, some genders are better at certain lines of work than others. It's just a thing. Or there's going to be over-representation. So if you're going to hire for, like, let's say a live stream set technician, I'm probably going to have applicants, and I'm going to have 100 of them, and 95% of them are going to be males.
Yeah. That's true. Like a set tech, cable puller, plumber. You're going to want the dude to show up.
It's just a thing. And then if I do some kind of admin work, 95% of them are going to be ladies. So it's very natural to feel like there's like this bias in regards to like, oh, women are better. And like maybe there are certain things that this work, like, listen, maybe there's a man out there who does this. I don't know. But when women organize documents for me, like that shit is just better.
I really wish that I was this way. Like, I'm really good at organizing documents, really good at organizing notes. Like, I took notes the way that Preach is about to describe his notes.
It just is. Even like, I'm not even talking about work, bro. when I even just do travel things. I had a girl send me a PDF of a travel trip that we took. You know what a nigga
That
done
sounds
sent
like
me
something my mother would do. See, my mother is that kind of woman.
when we were supposed to travel together? A post-it note. He's like, nigga, I can't wait. That was it. A woman sent me a PDF with attraction sites, links, passport things, visa requirements.
That's my mother. That is my mother. She went to St. Martin, I think, or some Caribbean place with one of her friends in the winter, and she was like he was the one who picked the destination, but she was like, you know, we can do this and this and this, and this is when we have to be at the airport to avoid being like late, and this is when we have to be here, and this like she freaking was one of those for the accessibility department in university. She was one of the people that submitted her notes for the disabled students, because she was one of those people that was like color-coded notes and like everything was in its place. And like when she took my stepfather to court, she had fucking binders of like labeled it was nuts.
It's just like it's a different level.
Bring it back.
I wish
Remember
I was
when
like
you was
that.
in school?
Yeah.
And you asked the note.
The girls' notes are
and
color coded, nigga.
I ask girls notes because I can't take notes.
That's why I'm
I take
okay.
notes.
I
I
can't
read
take
them back
notes
and I'm like, what the fuck was this, bro?
Yes, that's me. I would go back to look at my notes and I'd be like, what the there's one word here. What the fuck is this?
Yo, middle school made me okay with LGBTQ stuff because I was used to seeing rainbows every time I looked at her notebook. It was colorful. It was beautiful. I didn't need Crayola. My girl right beside me, Elizabeth, she knew what the fuck she was doing. So for me,
Prisma color.
that's it. I didn't magento.
Yep. True.
I appreciate them. There's just certain realms where I feel like they're gonna excel. And I'm not saying this to pigeonhole anybody. It's not like I don't believe a woman can't do another side of the equation, but you're just gonna see an overrepresentation.
Yeah.
I personally think that when it comes to working in groups, I don't like what this guy's saying because I can point to 100 stories where women don't go we. Instead, they actually bully other women in the workplace.
Acts or school, workplace, high school, university, all that stuff.
I probably posted a million stories to women talking about I had a female boss and she tried to sabotage me every chance she got. All right, this whole idea of like gender-based we versus me, I don't buy it. I've been in a lot of work environments with just dudes, and it was great. And I've been in other ones where dudes pissed me off in some regards. Yeah. So that's why I realized it's just like I try to take people person to person. People come with their attitudes.
Like there are some there's a reason that I would I prefer not to play video games with chicks, because they're fucking annoying.
Doesn't mean that I don't recognize that gender plays some role in regards to some lines of work, but I just what they're describing, it's probably that these guys work in a field where a lot of people are in offices, and the kind of work that they do is like menial tasks when it comes to admin stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that most of their staff is going to be women. Men are not drawn to these jobs, and even when they are, maybe they're just doing it for the paycheck, but they're not really into it like that. Whereas women can do a lot of these jobs a lot better. It is what it is. It's fine. In that same token, you might ask women to do certain jobs, and they're gonna come in there and they're gonna waste your fucking time. So they're not entirely crazy, but they're making this out to be like some kind of malicious thing. It's just like, bro, if you worked in a different field, I bet you would just want a crew of guys who worked all the time.
Yeah, like you don't have to malign an entire gender and say, you know, oh, men are pieces of shit and they're just gonna steal from you and blah blah. Like, that's not necessary.
Because they're gonna be better for it. Yeah, you're probably not gonna hire a female plumber tomorrow. No. Just kidding. You're gonna need somebody to manage your building, your condo, and do all the renovations and shit like that. Vast majority of them are gonna be dudes. Is that some big sexist scheme? I don't think so.
It's not. It's just like whenever I got one of my boys, he works on oil rigs. 21 days out of the month, he's with dudes. And this place is overpopulated with dudes. There's not a lot of girls.
Yeah,
because it's long hours. It's tedious job. You have to heavy shit to lift. It happens just like that. It's just whenever you're on tour, you see a lot more technician guys than girls.
Yeah,
that's true. That doesn't mean that all women are weak, fucking whiny bitches. It's just they don't gravitate to freaking work on oil rigs.
Sound man's guys. But when you talk about who's gonna hold the room, it's gonna be more girls.
I'll say though, I think there is one thing that they said that is definitely true when it comes to the whole quote unquote loyalty. And I don't think it's necessarily loyalty. In my experience, when it comes to the workplace, women are just risk averse.
Yes.
Men are much more likely to ask for raises. Men are going to make more demands in regards to moving up the scale. And this is not my opinion. You guys can put up the numbers. Like, women are less likely to do that. Women are less likely to transfer to a different place in terms of getting a job. So,
Yep, women are more likely to just stay put. My mother, again, I know I have to use her a lot because that's all I know, but she stayed a place at a call center job for fucking 5 years and put up with a whole bunch of bullshit.
So what these guys perceive as loyalty is just a risk aversion in some cases.
Yeah.
For them, it's great. They get to keep the staff. They don't ask for extra raises, so they're probably really happy. But I would also ask them, like, how many times have you offered these women raises without them asking?
Exactly.
For all the work that you love about them. That's also a question I would ask. While you're over here praising how loyal they are, is it just loyalty? Is that what it just is? I would question that. I'm not saying it is, because it is, right?
Yeah,
but that's a question to ask.
You have a wonderful point there.
So what they're saying is not entirely wrong. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but it's just understanding what these things mean, and don't take it necessarily as a compliment. Like, I've had to coach a lot of women in the workplace in regards to how to ask for raises from their bosses, right? I've had to talk to them like, how did you get a raise? And I had to work them through the steps because they didn't just feel comfortable, and it sucks.
That makes sense. It makes sense because they don't want to seem whiny. They don't want to seem demanding. That makes sense.
Because they deserved it. A lot of them were really good at their jobs. And these guys who are their superiors were taking them for granted.
Right.
And feel like, I could add more work to your workload. I'm going to give you a raise. Oh, yeah, I will. Even though he gave her twice the amount of work, this dude's trying to give her a 3% raise.
Oh, fuck
nigga,
off.
what? So let me get this straight. You're cutting another position to give her this job.
For 3%.
For a 3%.
And you think,
raise.
and he thought he was giving her a favor. That's how he played. I said, no, bitch, he playing you.
He playing you.
He playing you. And with your credentials, take your shit elsewhere.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That is an insult. I don't know shit about the workplace, but that's an insult.
Somebody gonna hire you right now. But she didn't want to do that. Again, a little bit of risk aversion. So I said, fine, let's work on the raise aspect.
That's one thing that I appreciate about you. Although you are very me, that's okay. But
that triggered me.
I know.
And you know why that triggered me.
I know. Because you're not. Because you're not. Because you're not.
Hey, you know what this make me think? I'm going to say a quick little thing. You ever been accused of stealing? And then it turned out you was given more than you was supposed to? Yay.
What?
Huh?
What happened?
That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Did that happen for real?
No. Go ahead.
God damn. Well, serves you good.
What the fuck?
The fuck up. Go ahead.
But that's what I appreciate about you. Is like we're aligned with that. When we started to do this thing, and when we started to do comedy shows, maybe it's because it happened to us when we got bamboozled and we said never again, and we're not gonna do the same thing to the people. Everybody that worked with us when we did the comedy thing, they cannot complain about.
No, we paid real good. We pay above brand.
We pay. You come here, you do a good job. And you know what? You come here, you do a good job. Shit, we might even give you a little extra.
Yeah.
Well, why
Congratulations. Do your thing.
Why not? That's just how it should be done. In my opinion. That's just me.
Thing. And that's the thing that I know it's not everybody that's on the same page with that, and I can appreciate that with you. Like, we don't even have to ask if you're doing a good job, if you're saving us, if you're saving my ass, if you're doing everything that you and you're going beyond, you won't even have to ask. But it's true. Oftentimes, my girlfriends they have a hard time asking for raises. But I don't know. They complain about the job, but.
Yes.
That's where they're like, when they're at the job, they're like, we. There's not W-E, but
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Again, I think it's interesting to always look at gender dynamics and the differences in people in the workplace, but I don't believe that the differences that he's enunciating are as real as they are, and I don't think they're gender specific as much as he's making it out to be.
I would agree wholeheartedly. I think this guy is very biased. I don't know what male in his life hurt him, but he seems very anti-male, and it's kind of weird. Like in a creepy male feminist kind of way. Hey, what's up? What's up? Good to have you here. We're doing some just chatting right now. I've got my big ass bottle of wine here, and I haven't opened it yet. But I think I may for this King Charles speech, because we are going to take a look here at the opening of our Parliament. And it is the 45th Parliament, and it is the third time a member of the royal family has come to open Parliament for Canada. Queen Elizabeth did it twice. Once in 1957 for Diefenbaker, I believe it was, and once for Trudeau Sr. So it's not unheard of, and there's a lot of people that are saying that this means Canada is not a country because the king has come to open Parliament for us. This is merely a ceremony. We are what's called a constitutional monarchy, which means we are a country, are a sovereign nation of our own, under the king. Like we have our own laws. We have different laws than the UK. Basically, it doesn't mean that we are the same country as the UK. So everybody needs to stop saying Canada needs its own 1776 moment, blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. And we've got enough of our own issues. We don't need that. So we are now going to look at this pomp and circumstance and see what there is to be seen for the opening of our Parliament.
May it please your Majesty. The House of Commons has elected me their Speaker, though I am but little able to fulfill the important duties thus assigned to me.
Oh, that's the new Speaker.
If in the performance of those duties I should at any time fall into error, I pray that the fault may be imputed to me and not to the House of Commons, whose servant I am, and who, through me, the better to enable them to discharge their duty to their king and country, humbly claim all their undoubted rights and privileges, especially that they may have freedom of speech in their debates, access to your Majesty's person at all seasonable times, and that their
through the Governor General, of course,
proceedings may receive from your Majesty the most favorable construction.
May it please your Majesty,
oh, it's in French.
to your
Skip the
instruction.
French.
Mr. Speaker, I am commanded by His Majesty the King to declare to you that he freely confides in the duty and attachment of the House of Commons to His Majesty's person and government, and not doubting that their proceedings will be conducted with wisdom, temper, and prudence. He grants and upon all occasions will recognize and allow their constitutional privileges. I am commanded also to assure you that the Commons shall have ready access to His Majesty upon all seasonable occasions, and that their proceedings, as well as your words and actions, will constantly receive from him the most favorable construction.
So basically, through her, the government will have access to King Charles at any reasonable whatever seasonable time means. I'm guessing seasonable means reasonable and during the during the time of the Parliament. So that's what I'm assuming that means. And she can't say it in French. And her excuse is, I went to residential school and they never taught me French. What residential school didn't teach French?
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker,
Oh, wow.
I am commanded by Congress. Assure you.
She is doing it in French. Good for her.
Honourable Senators, members of the House of Commons, it is with a deep sense of pride and pleasure that my wife and I join you here today as we witness Canadians coming together in a renewed sense of national pride, unity, and hope.
Yeah. National pride, unity, and hope. I don't know many Canadians that are feeling proud, united, or hopeful at this moment. But okay, carry on.
I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. This land...
We're on the unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people, but we're not gonna give it back!
Acknowledgement is a recognition of shared history as a nation, while continuing to deepen my own understanding. It is my great hope that in each of your communities and collectively as a country,
oh God,
a path is found toward truth and reconciliation in both word and deed.
Hopefully the house isn't actually on fire.
This is my 20th visit to Canada, spread over the course of more than half a century, and my first as sovereign.
Here with Mummy all the time.
As I've said before, every time I come to Canada, a little more of Canada seeps into my bloodstream, and from there, straight to my heart.
What the fuck is that, Charles? Oh my God. That is so cringy. Oh my Lord.
I've always had the greatest admiration for Canada's unique identity, which
Mark Carney has sullied and destroyed.
Recognized across the world for bravery and sacrifice in defense of national values and for the diversity and kindness of Canadians. To the First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples, you have welcomed my family and myself to your traditional lands with great warmth and hospitality.
You did some dances for us. And fiddled. It was great. Thank you for the show.
For which I am humbly grateful. This year we mark the 80th anniversary of VE Day and VJ Day.
VJ Day?
On Juno Beach, at Dieppe, on the Somme, at Beaumont-Hamel, at Ypres, and on Vimy Ridge.
Oh my God, he said Ypres right.
At those places and many others, forever etched into our memories, Canadians fought and died alongside our closest allies.
Damn right we did. Vimy Ridge? We fucking held that shit for you because the French fucked off. The Somme? We lost something like 20,000 troops in one day, which happened to be July 1st, by the way, 1916. Happy Canada Day.
Aujourd'hui,
Ypres and Dieppe, we got slaughtered.
Vast and great nation.
Saving the French.
you speak for your communities representing an incredible richness of cultures, languages, and perspectives. We owe it to this generation and those who succeed us to think and act for the greater good of all. While the world faces unprecedented challenges, generating uncertainties across the continents,
because nobody has ever had high tariffs before.
With regards to peace and stability,
The Middle East has never been at war with itself before. This is totally new.
Economics and climate change, your communities have the skills and determination to bring a wealth of solutions. En encourageant la collaboration,
Oh Lord, your
By fostering collaboration and engaging in respect
achieving
to support Canadians.
I thought the royal family spoke like a whole bunch of different languages. What the fuck is this?
It has been nearly 70 years since the sovereign first opened Parliament. In the time since, Canada has dramatically changed, repatriating its constitution, achieving full independence, and witnessing immense growth. Canada has embraced its British, French, and Indigenous roots and become a bold, ambitious, innovative country that is bilingual, truly multicultural, and committed to reconciliation.
Who wrote this for you? Seriously. Which Canadian cringe lord wrote this speech for you? Hello? What the hell happened?
That is bilingual, truly for Canada. It also represents stability and continuity from the past to the present. As it should, it stands proudly as a symbol of Canada today in all her richness and dynamism.
Dynamism. We're a dynamic country. Camilla. Camilla wrote this. Maybe.
When my dear late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, opened a new Canadian Parliament in 1957,
Dude, you forgot about 1977, Charles. Holy fuck.
the Second World War remained a fresh, painful memory.
You completely memory hold the one that she did in 77 for Trudeau Sr.
The Cold War was intensifying. Freedom and democracy were under threat. Canada was emerging as a growing economic power and a force for peace in the world. In the decades since, history has been punctuated by epoch-making events. The Vietnam War, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the start of the War on Terror.
Which Canada was like, that's not our fight until Afghanistan.
Today, Canada faces another critical moment. Democracy, pluralism, the rule of law, self-determination, and freedom.
Pluralism? Pluralism? Hold on a second.
Vietnam War, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the start of the War on Terror. Today, Canada faces another critical moment. Democracy, pluralism, the rule of law, self-determination, and freedom are values which Canadians hold dear.
Pluralism is, I don't think pluralism is something that Canada holds. Okay.
And ones which the government is determined to protect. The system of open global trade that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for Canadians for decades, is changing. Canada's relationships with partners are also changing. Il nous faut fundamental change. Many Canadians are feeling anxious and worried about the drastically changing world around them.
That is the biggest understatement I think I've heard since the campaign on this election.
Fundamental change is always unsettling. Yet this moment is also an incredible opportunity. An opportunity for renewal. An opportunity to think big and to act bigger.
Think bigly. Think bigly. I will try. Let me change the... Let me change the playback speed. 1.5 or 1.25?
An opportunity for Canada to embark on the largest transformation of its economy since the Second World War.
There we go. Now he's talking.
A confident
like
Canada, which has welcomed new Canadians, including from some of the most tragic global conflict zones, can seize this opportunity by recognizing that all Canadians can give themselves far more.
Jesus Christ! This is now he's putting it at 1.5 speed is making him speak like he's 40 years younger
than any foreign power on any continent can ever take away. And that by staying true to Canadian values, Canada can build new alliances and a new economy that serves all Canadians. The Prime Minister...
This is crazy. He sounds like he's...
and the President of the United States, for example, have begun defining a new economic and security relationship.
If I put Asmongold on 1.5, it would sound like a chipmunk. If I put him...
relationship between Canada and the United States, rooted in mutual respect and founded on common interests, to deliver transformational benefits for both sovereign nations. Simultanément.
He does! He's...
In parallel, the government is working. It's new. When
Canadians are struggling.
Means the G7 summit.
The government is guided by its conviction that the economy is only truly strong when it serves everyone. Many Canadians are struggling to get ahead. The government is responding.
Get ahead? Canadians are struggling to float, dude. Canadians are struggling to put their heads above the pool water. Fucking get ahead? Get ahead is a pipe dream at this point.
Reducing middle-class taxes and saving two-income families up to $840 a year. It will cut the GST on homes at or under $1 million for first-time home buyers, delivering savings of up to $50,000. And it will lower the GST on homes between $1 million and $1.5 million. Le gouvernement
Healthcare, 8 million
goal.
Saving the average person more than $800 annually.
Canadian economy.
There we go.
The government's overarching goal, its core mission, is to build the strongest economy in the G7. That starts with creating one Canadian economy out of 13.
No, we're not doing a one Canadian economy. Fuck you.
Internal barriers to trade and labour mobility cost Canada as much as $200 billion each year.
So does that... I mean, so here's my question to you, government. Are you going to make it so that if we're a one Canadian economy instead of 13, how are the provinces going to dictate things like, oh, if a disabled person fucks off to a different province to work and still has their disability benefits coming in?
The government will introduce legislation to remove all remaining federal barriers to internal trade and labour mobility by Canada Day.
Internal trade and labour mobility by Canada Day. How the fuck are you going to do all of that in a month? And then go on summer vacation and be like, off you go, service workers, make it happen. Wow.
Numerous we-locking
territories and Canada strong.
But it's not enough.
Canada strong, yep.
To build Canada strong, the government is working closely with provinces, territories and Indigenous peoples to identify and catalyze projects of national significance.
By the way, I heard, I wish that I had saved the video. It was on TikTok. Alberta is going to be the only province that claws back the Canada Disability Benefit. And they are going to make ASH, which is the Alberta's disability system, ASH recipients or ASH applicants pay to apply for ASH, and they don't get the application fee back.
Projects that will connect Canada, that will deepen Canada's ties with the world, and that will create high-paying jobs for generations. Given the pace of change and the scale of opportunities, speed is of the essence. Through the creation of a new major federal project office, the time needed to approve a project will be reduced from 5 years to 2, all while upholding Canada's world-leading environmental standards and its constitutional obligations to Indigenous peoples.
Yes, because those two things are synonymous with each other. It's environmental standards and it's Indigenous relations. Okay.
The government will also strike cooperation agreements with every interested province and territory within 6 months to realize its goal of one project, one review.
6 months? How the fuck are you going to do all this in 6 months?
When Canadians come together, Canada builds things that last. Éliminer ces obstacles qui
in both to build hundreds.
Critically, the government will undertake a series of measures to help double the rate of home building while creating an entirely new housing industry.
Get in the pod! Eat the bugs!
Using Canadian technology, Canadian skilled workers, and Canadian lumber. The government will introduce measures to deliver affordable homes by creating Build Canada homes.
Made of prefab modular houses.
This mission-driven organization will act to accelerate the development of new affordable housing. It will invest in the growth of the prefabricated and modular housing industry, and it will provide significant financing to affordable home builders. The government will make the housing market work better, including by cutting municipal development charges in half for all multi-unit housing.
Oh, multi-unit housing. Oh, yes, because we all want to live in multi-unit houses. Yep. Yes, Canadian shipping containers for the elderly. Yes, sounds great. It'll be wonderful.
The government will drive supply up to bring housing costs down. To be truly strong, Canada must be secure. To that end, the government will introduce legislation to enhance security at Canada's borders. Law enforcement and intelligence agencies will have new tools to stop the flow of fentanyl and its precursors.
Yes, all the 0.1% of the fentanyl that's going into the States from.
What they're building, all in Kitchener. Oh, okay, here, all in Kitchener. So all Kitchener Waterloo is all modular, is all multi-unit housings. Half the coffee from that one coffee place goes to houses that are row houses. It's like England.
Yeah.
Where every house is attached. You know, our house, we have a massive detached house, right? But in most places, this would be 5 fucking houses.
Yeah.
If we sold this lot, just think about it, right next door, right? It is that there's like 7 or 8 units.
Yeah.
All single level.
Yeah.
All 55 plus. And it's the same size. Their property is duplicate to our property.
Right.
And their parking lot is our entire house spot.
Right.
So the entire building is just our 100 is just the 100 feet backyard.
Yeah.
And these are couples that are living in these things, and it's a single level. And they're paying, I think I was told they're paying almost $2,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. What about the new building? Yeah, what about the new building they just built? You looked up those places.
14, I think.
For the 1-bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a 1-bedroom. 14. Inclusive?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lucky. But think about it. Our old apartment, where we were paying $680 when we moved into it.
It was almost $1,000 when we moved out.
Uh-huh. And now I looked into it, $2,350.
Fuck. Yeah, my mother's paying that for her fucking half of a house. So that's...
The Canada Border Services Agency will be given new powers to examine goods destined for export, to prevent the transport of illegal and stolen products, including cars.
Oh, yeah.
Le gouvernement protégera.
Faces
Challenges may come.
new threats.
To protect Canadians and their sovereign rights from wherever challenges may come, at home or abroad. To keep communities safe, the government will hire 1,000 more RCMP personnel.
1,000
It will change
That's it? 1,000 more. How about... Here's a noble thought. How about the fucking government helps Saskatchewan and Manitoba get a provincial police force and forces Alberta and BC to put some of their freaking surplus budget into building a provincial police force so that the federal police force can do its fucking job federally. How about we do that? But Alberta...
That's a lot, actually.
Huh?
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it needs to...
RCMP for federal? That's a lot. But how over the course of what time frame? If they say 5 years. Now, the funnier part is if Saskatchewan and Alberta do separate, hey, we get all those officers. Cool.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Who the fuck's... Like, that's the...
There, I want more police.
That's the thing.
Nope, more police is good.
Firearms licensing and strengthen enforcement RCMP personnel. It will change firearms licensing and strengthen enforcement of yellow and red flag laws.
It will change firearm licensing and strengthen yellow and red flag laws.
Weapons licenses for those convicted of intimate partner violence and those subject to protection orders will be revoked.
Well, why the fuck are people convicted of IPV getting guns anyways? That's retarded.
Through the deployment of scanners, drones, and helicopters, additional personnel, and canine teams, the government will stem the tide of illegal guns and drugs across the border.
Yes, I'm sure you will. I'm sure the government is going... I'm sure the government is going to stem the flow of illegal guns over the border.
It will take these steps while protecting the rights of law-abiding gun owners and Indigenous peoples' long-standing hunting traditions.
Bullshit!
The
You've already completely ruined...
No, it's their licenses being... No.
government will bring a renewed focus on car theft and home invasions of law-abiding gun owners and Indigenous peoples' long-standing hunting traditions. The government will bring a renewed focus on car theft and home invasions by toughening the criminal code to make bail harder to get for repeat offenders charged with committing these crimes.
So you guys do have that power now. Oh, okay. For the last 8 months, it was, that's up to the provinces.
Along with human trafficking and drug smuggling. During this time of great change, Canadians are uniting behind what makes Canada unique. La langue française et la culture.
Canada Supply Management.
Nature is core to Canada's identity. In 2022, Canada convened COP15 in Montreal, which concluded with 196 countries striking a historic agreement to protect 30% of their lands and 30% of waters by 2030. To this end, the government will protect more of Canada's nature than ever before through the creation of new national parks, national urban parks, marine protected areas, and other conservation initiatives.
Are you guys gonna clear our, deadfall from existing national parks so that they don't burn to the ground? Like Jasper? Yes.
The government will always protect the rights and freedoms that the Charter guarantees for every Canadian. The government will be a reliable partner to Indigenous peoples upholding its fundamental commitment.
Oh. Okay. Hold on. Ah!
Stop. I got it.
To advancing reconciliation. Central to this commitment is the creation of long-term wealth and prosperity with Indigenous peoples. For that reason, the government will double the Indigenous Loan Guarantee Program from $5 billion to $10 billion, enabling more Indigenous communities to become owners of major projects.
Which is good. You guys should have done that years and years ago.
As Canada moves forward with nation-building projects, the government will always be firmly guided by the principle of free, prior, and informed consent.
What does that even mean?
Canada's immigration system has long been a source of pride for the government will always be firmly guided by the principle of free, prior, and informed consent.
Free, prior, and informed consent. Don't just gloss over that. What does that mean, sir?
Canada's immigration system has long been a source of pride for Canadians and of dynamism for the economy. The government is dedicated to rebuilding the trust of Canadians in immigration by restoring balance to the system. Le gouvernement instaurera
Can invest more.
Day-to-day government spending. The government's operating budget has been growing by 9% every year.
Jesus.
The government will introduce measures to bring it below 2%.
Interesting. Okay, so we are seeing a budget reduction, which for the Liberals is interesting because they don't usually do that.
Transfers to provinces, territories, or individuals will be maintained.
Okay.
The government will balance its operating budget over the next 3 years by cutting waste, capping the public service, ending duplication, and deploying technology to improve public sector productivity.
Capping public service. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder how many public servants they're going to end up cutting.
In parallel, the government will take a series of measures to catalyse new investment to create better jobs and higher incomes for Canadians.
Okay.
The scale of the government's initiative will match the challenges of our times and the ambitions of Canadians. Honourable Senators, members of the House of Commons, when my dear late mother addressed your predecessors 7 decades ago, she said that in that age and against the backdrop of international affairs, no nation could live unto itself. It is a source of great pride that in the following decades, Canada has continued to set an example to the world in her conduct and values as a force for good. À vous.
We have
Canada has continued to catalyze.
There we go. What happened?
the government
Has been growing by
There it
9%.
is.
by a new fiscal discipline. Spend less so Canadians can invest more.
Day-to-day government spending, the government's operating budget, has been growing by 9% every year. The productivity in months. When my dear late mother addressed your predecessors 7 decades ago, she said that in that age and against the backdrop of international affairs, no nation could live unto itself. It is a source of great pride that in the following decades, Canada has continued to set an example to the world in her conduct and values as a force for good.
My wife.
There we go.
And reminds us,
Oh,
And that of my wife, for the warmth of the welcome which we have received.
and reminds us, the true north is indeed strong and free.
ah, that's where he ended it. He said the true north is indeed strong and free. I see. Yes, so that was the speech from the throne. And hold on. Ow. Okay, we're going to pop over here. Go to solar camp. There we go. So that was the opening of Parliament And it was an interesting, like, we're not going to get a budget statement and probably until the fall, or a fall economic statement, sorry. They are not releasing a budget for 2025. I did find it interesting that they are saying that they're going to cap the budget spending to 2%. I wonder how that's going to work and where they're going, like what public service sectors they're going to cut. It's going to be interesting because they are saying capping the public service and getting rid of duplication. So there is a lot of duplicate stuff in the government and duplicate roles, and I think that's why some cabinet portfolios were cut as well. It's just a kind of an interesting thing to look at. They're saying that they are going to maintain the transfer payments, which I'm not surprised. They have to. Besides, not every province gets a transfer payment or an equalization payment, sorry. So it's all in all, it was well delivered. We had to put it to 1.5, otherwise we would have been here for another hour. But I really feel like this is kind of trying to appease some of the Canadians that they know that they've pissed off. I really am interested to hear what Mr. Polyev has to say about this. I do have his reaction here. And then we're going to start talking about the Hasan stuff. But so that's how Parliament opened today. I will be keeping an eye on whether there's question period tomorrow, and we will check in on that with and do all the other crazy stuff. But let's see what Mr. Polyev has to say about this.
Merci d'être là. Je suis très heureux d'être ici avec le chef adjoint des conservateurs, pour renforcer nos traditions parlementaires pour la loi de ce gouvernement et la un budget en tant qu'une opposition. 2 million more, 800 coming to Canada. Before I begin de mettre en œuvre ce plan et de transformer ces messages en actions véritables et concrètes. Thank you very much, everyone. And before I begin, let me thank my Deputy Leader, Melissa Lanceman. We join today in thanking His Majesty for coming to Canada and delivering the throne speech, reinforcing our ancient British liberties, a parliamentary system that goes back 800 years.
Yep.
A system that has served Canada well and has been the foundation of what I love to call the Canadian promise, that anyone who works hard gets a great life in a nice, affordable house on a safe street. That's the promise that we as Conservatives ran to restore, and it's why we were able to get 2 million more votes and 24 more seats. We inspired a lot of people that we would fight for that Canadian promise.
And this is the way to start out this reaction. This is good. A very polite acknowledgement of the royal visit, an acknowledgement of our basis in British common law, and tying that into the Conservative ideal and the Canadian ideal. I think that was a good way of starting.
And bring forward that hope. And we were looking for that promise and that hope in this speech today. We did see a lot of the right slogans and political talking points, but no clear plans to get it done.
No, that was the thing. There was a lot of nice sounding stuff, like, you know, we want to get rid of all these trade barriers by July 1st, and we want to get rid of GST on homes under $1 million, and we want to get this like one project, one review thing done in 6 months, and but no, like, actually how they're going to do it.
One slogan dealt with controlling government spending, but there were no specific savings to roll back the morbidly obese Liberal government's costs. We saw promises about getting things built, but no mention of oil and gas or pipelines. Pipelines are, of course, the thing we most need to build. Didn't get one mention. Nor did they mention getting rid of the anti-energy laws that have kept our resources in the ground. C-69, the no development law.
Well, that wouldn't have been where that would have been talked about.
C-48, the shipping ban, the energy cap, the electric vehicle mandate. All of these things were left out of the speech altogether. No specific plans to get anything done, even though, as the Prime Minister has said, we are in a crisis to break our dependence on the American economy. They mentioned crime, but refused to say that they would repeal the Liberal catch and release bail law, C-75, or the house arrest law, laws that have allowed rampant chaos and crime to overtake our once tranquil streets.
That is a true thing. They did talk about bail reform, but they didn't talk about how. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
No mention of overcoming the opioid crisis and replacing tax-funded drugs and legalization.
Yeah, that's
with
true. That's true that they won't. They pardon. It's a bait. Yeah, they used King Charles as the patsy.
Treatment and recovery. No mention of real plans to get taxes under control by reducing the cost of government. So we're here to turn the government's talking points into real plans. We pledge to work with the government to repeal the anti-energy law, C-69, repeal the energy cap, the electric vehicle mandate, the offshore shipping ban. Let's get our pipelines building. Let's get our goods to markets other than the United States. We're here to propose cuts to bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid, and corporate welfare so that we can bring down taxes, debt, and inflation. Let's repeal the catch and release laws so that we can restore safety to our streets. Let's invest in treatment and recovery to bring our loved ones home drug-free. In other words, let's replace the talking points with real plans to get it done.
That's your job as the opposition, sir. That's what your job is. It's to be the opposition and to make sure that to make sure that the government follows accordingly, and doesn't just run rampant. Like, that's what your job is supposed to be. You need that, and I'm glad that we're still gonna have Pierre Poilievre as the leader. That they've worked it out so that he is still going to remain the leader. And I'm hoping, despite the fact that Mark Carney is not going to be part of or answer questions in question period, we'll still see Mr. Poilievre in his opposition presence asking questions and putting things out there. So that hopefully will still make people think, and hopefully we'll have more people watching CPAC and watching
Well, that's what they're saying, but Scheer walked out the speaker.
What?
Okay. So you're sitting there saying that, they're talking about Poilievre is still going to be the leader, right? They're still saying that Parliament is in session next week. Poilievre doesn't have his seat yet. He doesn't have his leadership yet. Scheer walked the speaker down the aisle this morning.
Yes.
So...
He's the interim leader.
Yeah.
The plans are that he's just the placeholder for Polyev. Polyev is still staying in the opposition leader's home.
Right, but I'm wary of that because let's just see what fuckery's there. I don't trust any of this shit, either side. Something smells rotten in the state of Denmark.
No. So yeah, that's our lovely political bent for the day. And we are going to switch over to the Hasan nonsense. Now, I've been doing videos over the past couple of weeks on Hasan, and his fans have not been happy with me at all. It's been very, 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 very interesting to see the brigading of my tiny ass channel by the fans of this crazy Twitch streamer. His ban was a joke. It was such a short, useless ban that I don't even know why Twitch. I do know why Twitch did it, but I don't know why Twitch did it because it's just a joke. But I do know why Twitch did it because they had to do something. They should have done way more, but they didn't. They chose to ban him for. We will hear the exact length of time in a minute with the more Pegasus video that I've got here, but he has, before he got that stupid, ridiculous 24-hour ban, he ramped up over a month. He had that crazy debate with Ethan Klein that made him look insane. He had the recruitment video of it was like the Houthi recruitment video or something like that. He was playing on his stream. He has had this Australian streamer who's incredibly anti-Semitic. He platformed this guy and agreed with him when he said that there should be an IRA-style group in the States actively targeting people to promote Jewish fatigue and Israel fatigue. And none of that got him a ban. It should have. It should have gotten him a ban because we have people like Tectone getting banned for calling Frogan large when she is, and she's openly attacked Tectone, and all he did was point out the obvious, and he got a 2-week ban. Meanwhile, Hasan does all of this nonsense, gets no ban, and the only thing, and then he gets a ban because he reads the manifesto of the DC shooter. Puts his chat on emote-only mode. His chat is nothing but hearts while he's reading this thing. Yesterday now, he goes back live and goes, I was critical of the manifesto and I'll take the suspension, but Twitch needs to update its TOS so this doesn't happen anymore. Bitch, you weren't critical of that shit. You weren't critical. Your whole chat was it was love, love, love. And I've been told, because I can't see it, but I've been told they were your custom heart emojis there, Mr. Hasan. So seriously, nobody believes this shit. Nobody believes that you denounced the DC shooter. And this whole scrubbing of his Discord, like, that doesn't look suspicious at all, I say with a giant sarcasm sign over my head. And then, of course, after his ban, none of his VODs are on his channel now. So you can't go back, like, unless, you know, of course, there's been the archive people. But, like, any old stuff, like any of the things that I just talked about, is all gone. Huh? Don't forget the Diddy parties. Oh, yes, and in his Discord, or that's gonna come up in the More Pegasus video, don't worry. We'll hear about the threat to unalive himself over only having, get this, only having 10,000 viewers in a stream. Only 10,000. Fuck, man. Like, you're, like, what the fuck? He lives in a mansion. He doesn't need to stream. He's got money. Like, it's not like this is... It's not like if he were to be permabanned tomorrow, he'd be like, oh my god, I have no way to make money, I have no money. No, he'd be fine. But, like, he acts like I'm gonna unalive myself because only 10,000 people watched my IRL stream. Oh my god. Fuck off. Just fuck off. You poor thing. Like, only a stadium's worth of people watched your stream. Oh, poor you. Like, and it's because of this asshole that people, like, even small people, are seeing a 50 to 75% reduction on their Twitch revenue. In, like, a month. So, Hasan is basically single-handedly driving Twitch into the ground, and then he's like, I'll just come to YouTube if they ban me. Fuck it. I'll just come to YouTube. I'll just go to YouTube. You know you won't. You'll go to YouTube, you'll be playing some video that the YouTube system will know is absolute not supposed. You know what? You might even be playing a video that's fine, and the YouTube copyright system will go, nope. So good luck with streaming on YouTube there, Mr. Piker. Good fucking luck. I you know, like, you. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this More Pegasus video, and then I'm gonna end the just chatting and do bedtime. But let's take a listen here.
Alrighty, welcome back. We got a lot of news today. Hasan is back on Twitch after his 1 day, 6 minute, 20-second ban.
That's pathetic.
I swear to God, even SpongeBob spent more time in jail. You can't be serious. Streamer XQC has just leaked a secret about Twitch bans. Tectone has responded to Hasan's unban. Asmongold reacts to Hasan's continued slander. Popular YouTuber Meat Canyon has commented on the H3 Hasan situation and is criticizing Ethan, actually.
Interesting.
Apparently, Creator Clash 3 is refusing refunds to some people despite the event being indefinitely suspended and the main fighters dropping out. And
so that's not good.
Ethan continues going after everybody on Instagram. Subscribe for 700k. You guys are absolutely loving the series. The support has been crazy. Thank you. And let's begin. Starting with this tweet. As of right now, Hasan has no VODs published on his Twitch channel. And here we have an attached screenshot which shows all the VODs have been deleted. Now, we don't actually know if he did it or Twitch did it, but it's kind of the same thing if you ask me. And
it is literally the same thing. for all intents and purposes.
Some people are theorizing that that's the reason he got his 1-day ban, so that they could like sort of prevent people from accessing his VODs while they cleared everything. But honestly, this just makes him look 10 times more guilty. The fact that he has to delete his streams. I wonder what else he's hiding. In Hasan Diddy Piker's own words, have some conviction.
Have some conviction.
Shit, I don't think this means it's an indefinite ban, but I think they're trying to remove anything that would make him look bad. It's like they saw the thing Asmongold said about wiping his Discord being an admittance of guilt. Perhaps the shooter was in Hasan's chat at one point.
I don't want to say he was, because that's defamatory, because you can't prove it. But the scrubbing of the Discord right after the shooting, and now the deletion of the VODs.
Looking pretty guilty, Hamas Piker.
Yep.
Twitch is literally covering up the evidence. Right, so Hasan has responded to his unban with this meme, I lived, bitch. They banned you on your day off. Jesus Christ, get off the cross. So
No shit. I live, bitch. Meanwhile, you didn't even technically miss a day of streaming. Because you never...
I didn't think about that.
What?
The shooter being Hassan's chat.
Oh, you didn't, huh?
I missed that one. I missed that earlier.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Discord was scrubbed literally the next day after the shooting. And then the VODs are deleted less than a week after.
somebody just posted this animation of him. Okay, we got this JoJo meme. It would actually be pretty funny if like iDubbbz was somehow Hasan's stand. It's just like his little lapdog that he controls. Now XQC talks about a little bit of a secret they had with bans. XQC leaks that Twitch will sometimes contact their biggest streamers and work a ban out around their schedule. When you're about to get banned, they send you a DM.
Guys,
that's bullshit.
Guys, I will leak a secret. I'm gonna leak a secret. Ready, chat? When you're about to get banned, they send you a DM. Your partner manager will send you a DM and will contact you. Okay? If it's like, oh, dude, can we hold off until this day or whatever? Sometimes they'll listen.
Wow. So if you're gonna get banned, if you're a big enough streamer, like if you're Twitch partner or something, and your partner manager DMs you and is like, you're in shit. You're in shit. You're gonna get the ban hammer dropped on you. You have the ability to be like, can you like hold off until this day when I don't actually stream? Like, could you imagine if the freaking police show up and are like, yeah, we're about to trespass you from this property, and you're like, cool. Can you hold on till like next Tuesday?
Okay, it wouldn't surprise me if they timed the ban so where like it would be his half day off or day off or whatever. It is what it is. That's just kind of how it goes.
That's so bullshit. That is so fucking bullshit.
When I had my like week ban for like cheating or whatever, they're like, yeah, you're gonna get banned from this day. I just took it how it is, but I think there was like a conversation or whatever on yo, there's a week ban now, whatever. Or last time it was, oh, when you're gonna end your stream, you're probably gonna get banned.
When you end your stream, you're gonna get banned. Not we're going to ban you in 3, 2, 1. It's gonna be, yeah, just whenever you finish streaming.
But that's what it was. The one before that ban. It was, and I was like, okay, well then I'll stay live until in like 3 AM or some shit like that.
Yeah, there you go. He just stayed live for forever and evaded the ban.
Okay, absolutely nobody is surprised at this information. That definitely seems like something Twitch would do. Give you a literal heads up and accommodate your every need. Book your fucking hotel, fly you to a 5-star resort, jerk you off. Dan is never beating the goon sesh allegations.
Oh, no.
Oh, King Hasan, are you taking Sundays off? That's perfect. That's your ban day then. These suckers will eat it up.
Yeah, that's... It is absolutely bullshit that Hasan was even given just his holiday off.
I mean, that's not even a punishment at that point. That is literally like a collaboration with the creator. You just scheduled a holiday for him.
Yeah, that's like the school suspending your kid on the professional development day. Like, what the fuck?
Here's what people are saying. I long suspected this of Amaranth, who could basically get away with murder on our streams without a ban. Now, Tectone has also responded to the 24-hour ban. Originally, he thought it was a meme, as did I, but it's very real. Reminder, he's the guy who got banned for 2 weeks for calling Frogan neutronically dense.
I like that. Neutronically dense. I like that.
I lost all ad revenue for 3 weeks over calling a woman who is 150 pounds over the obesity mark, a
Jesus.
morbidly obese woman, fat, in 2025, after this woman has repeatedly come after me, my family, my friends, as well as the soldiers, and made multiple 9/11 jokes without ever getting banned. I get banned for calling her fat, and Twitch DMs me and says to leave her alone, which...
Oh my god, they DM'd him and then they actually said leave Frogan alone. My god. Oh my god. I could not imagine fucking YouTube DMing me, leave Molly Burke alone. Leave Mr. Beast alone about his blind video. Like, could you imagine?
Which is well aware of everything it is that he has done, everything it is that he said, the negative effect it's had on this platform, as well as the negative effect it's had on the community, as well as the creators.
Yeah.
They are fully in understanding of all the damage that he has done, the radicalization of the viewers, as well as the harm, the slanderous comments he's made towards Asmongold, calling Asmongold a murderer, a pedophile, calling me a rapist, an abuser, a pedophile, calling Nux a pedophile, calling Mudahar a pedophile, calling...
Like, everybody is a pedophile. Seriously. And I'm sorry, Hasan, when that becomes your go-to insult for everybody, a lot of people start to look at you. And like, even if you didn't have the history of, you know, attending certain parties and attending certain brothel type businesses, people would still look at you and go, you're accusing a lot of people of the same thing. Are you sure you're not that thing?
Anybody he disagrees with a crime and attempting to ruin their lives, and people like us are going to have to deal with this criminal shit forever. Yep. Hasan, the guy who has self-admittedly gone to a Diddy party asking for P. Diddy, a known sex offender, a known pedophile's sloppy seconds.
Yep. Facts.
Hasan, the guy who has said, old enough to count, old enough to mount. Hasan, the guy who has gone to a brothel with sex workers that were sex trafficked, including children.
Oh my god,
Again,
I keep forgetting the gigantic list of horrible shit that Hasan has done.
He's a degenerate motherfucker. And I don't care who comes after me for saying that. I really don't. Hasan is fucking degenerate.
Now it's sort of slowly getting etched into my memory. Slowly I'll be able to recite every single one of Hasan's achievements in like one line. I can't believe bro actually went to a Diddy party. Like, yeah, you can't make that level of cinema. That is diabolical. But honestly, what a joke. Twitch when you talk about Frogan, leave her alone. Twitch when you talk about terrorists, my man. Yeah. Anyways, I think he's rightfully pissed. The standards are never applied equally. And this isn't some joke, right? This is people's career. It's their entire livelihood. Yeah. Now, some people are big enough to simply bring their audiences elsewhere, but a lot of other people are negatively affected by this type of stuff, like smaller streamers.
Hi! Hello! This is why I'm multi-streaming.
Hasan is so bad for the platform, the ad rate has gone down like 75% or something like that. Yeah. Advertisers are pulling out, and Twitch is just completely tanking. Then he...
Yeah, and they don't even get... They're like the fucking... captain of the Costa Concordia. They fucking ran the thing into the land and then fucked off. And they're like, yeah, we know it was really bad. It was really bad, so we left.
Then he talks about Twitch's agenda.
Congratulations, Twitch. You have played yourself.
What? Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been making these Hasan videos. Like, 2 of them have over 1,000 views. All of them have comments that are like the same bullshit. I'm pro-genocide. I don't understand Hasan. If I listen to Asthma Nazi Gold, then there's no help for me. Just all this, and then this one guy, why do you think all the comments are the same? This is a bad video. No, the comments are not showing me this is a bad video. The comments are showing me that all of you guys have my name in your mouth in some Discord server somewhere for a fucking 1-2 million followers fucking Twitch streamer, and I have 1,500 subs on my YouTube channel and 500 followers on my Twitch. and all of these guys are brigading me. Like, huh? Yeah, like, and then, like, all of this shit, I'm getting throttled. My shit's getting throttled everywhere.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to trust a single fucking thing you say or do. You have put bad faith in me and every other creator on your platform, and you are already a sinking ship.
Basically, Twitch has to do a lot of shit to get people back on their side. First of all, they have to get rid of probably 3 or 4 of their top creators because of the radicalization that they're doing. They need to just get rid of Hasan and Venoms and Noah Samson. Those are the top 3 I can think of right now. They need to just get rid of them. Then they need to rework their TOS to, first of all, punish people like Hasan and reward people that aren't like Hasan. And second of all, to entice advertisers to come back. And then they need to rework the ad split. Because the only way they're going to get people to come back to stream exclusively on Twitch, they are dancing far past freedom of speech at this point. They're not. They need to. This is like a business sense. This is not a moral sense. It is bad for business to have those 3 on their platform. It's just bad for business. And the only way, and then they need to rework the ad split to be like 60-40, 70-30, something like that, because nobody's going to exclusively stream on Twitch again at this point with a 50-50 ad split. Especially if they don't change the way that they deliver the ads, because that is another huge problem. The way that ads are pushed on Twitch, nobody wants to sit and watch a Twitch stream if they're not subscribed, because like even Pinkalo has tried to turn on my streams on Twitch, and there's been like fucking 6 to 8 ads just shoved into the front, even though we've turned off pre-roll. So Twitch needs to fix a lot of shit before people will even consider an exclusive streaming contract with them anymore.
You get less people watching your streams than YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and even f***ing Twitter. You have less people watching your streams. But
God damn. There are more people watching a Twitter live space than a fucking Twitch stream? That's sad.
the only thing that you do is what's right for your agenda. And it's pathetic. Merely talking about a terrorist document gets you a band.
Yep.
But bringing one on stream, promoting terrorists, saying they're like Monkey D. Luffy, saying America deserved 9/11, for saying Hamas deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's all fine.
You say all of that, and it falls on deaf ears.
Okay, so at this point, we pretty much know that Twitch staff and the CEO pretty much support Hasan's form of radical politics, right? Which is why they don't want to ban him, don't want to give him any form of real punishment. But I think that even if that is your agenda and you want to propagate this type of nonsense, I don't think it helps your case to act like this. Because at some point, you gotta cut off one of the arms to save the entire body, right? And Hasan is like one of those poisonous, toxic arms that is attached to the body of Twitch. And unless you cut him off, unless he goes, the entire platform will come crashing down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying morally deplatform Hasan Piker and Venoms and all the... No, business-wise, they need to go. They need to go, like, now, because otherwise advertisers are just gonna fucking just be like, you know what? Thanks, Amazon, it's been nice.
And there's one more event that's coming up that's absolutely going to destroy Twitch. I saw a clip of Asmongold saying that he's going to start multi-streaming sometime in the next few weeks. And that is going to be disastrous for Twitch. Basically, when people see that Asmongold will be way more successful multi-streaming, everybody else is going to follow suit.
Yep. Multi-streaming is probably going to become the new norm. It's not now... What?
The reality of the situation is, now that the ads are gone, there is absolutely no reason to stick around on Twitch. Not even if you like the chat or whatever, there is no reason. At least for the creators who need to think about revenue as well, right? And the chatters will obviously just follow the creator. Then he talks about how nobody actually speaks out about Hasan in the whole Twitch Hollywood ecosystem.
Because it seems like everybody else in this fucking town is too fucking pussy to do it themselves. Because all of you fucking stupid fucking pussies in this town who think, oh, well, if I'm not really progressive, everybody's going to think that I'm far right and nobody's going to talk to me. If your
What? Okay.
friendships are really that fragile, if your career is really that fragile, do you really think you either want to have those friends, and do you really think you deserve your career if you can't just say, hey, this guy who's too far left is a little bit too far left?
No, you should be able to fucking still have scruples and stand up for what's right.
And if your entire audience is going to turn on you, I really think you should look within yourself.
I mean, he's speaking facts here. I think it's really pathetic that people can't speak
If that's the kind of audience you have, you need a new fucking audience.
their actual true opinion because they're so spineless and they're so afraid of, I don't know, just pissing off Hasan, not being able to collaborate with him or whatever. You know, I may just be a slop tuber or whatever, but at least I say what I think. And, you know, sometimes you're going to get a lot of backlash. Sometimes people are not going to like what you say. And sometimes people like Hasan's community is going to try to, you know, lie about you and harass you in the comments or something like that. But
hello.
But eventually, people start seeing the truth, you start convincing people, and then it doesn't matter how big your community is because you get exposed for the fraud you are. Okay, moving on to Asmongold. Here he's talking about Hasan's constant slander against him. He's reacting to a video by Decoy Voice, and it's just insane when you see the amount of things Hasan has lied about Asmongold.
Asmongold is entertaining the new meta of black fatigue, which is like, I'm sorry, the lamest way to be a white supremacist.
Black fatigue isn't a thing. Why are you literally just lying?
I love this. I love the way that Decoy Voice kind of lined everything up in this little section.
Asmongold thinks dudes that look like you should perish. Dude, Asmongold would literally laugh at you being ethnically if you're Indian, okay? He thinks brown are inferior. What the are you talking about?
Oh man, it's crazy to see him lined up. You know what I mean?
Really is.
Oh,
it really, really is.
Man. That's crazy. Who says shit like this?
So between the fatigue comment, the comments about Mexicans and Indians, all within what seems to be a month, this just looks like projection more than anything.
This is basically what I assume now. Anytime Hasan calls somebody racist, he's probably projecting his own views. Now, when you look at a situation like this, you know, everything gets resolved and it's like it's a laughing matter, right? But the only reason the slander actually doesn't work is because everybody knows it's coming from Hasan. So you sort of automatically understand it's complete bullshit, right? And all these people also have communities who understand them. Like, for example, Asmongold, he has a huge community that will easily protect him from any of this slander spreading and stuff like that. But what if you don't? What if Hasan goes after somebody smaller and they...
Oh, hi. You mean like somebody like
don't have this huge community to fight back and to clarify any false statements he's making about them, right? Because Hasan is usually the bigger creator in the situation. So this sort of stuff is really dangerous. And the thing is, usually if anyone makes a false statement like this, you gotta at least correct the record, right? You gotta at least apologize. You gotta, you know, you'll get hounded for a bit, but at least it shows some level of respect when you apologize and you correct the record and you say that, okay, I was wrong, right? But Hasan will never back down. He will keep doubling down until you are brainwashed into his side. And that's the main issue of this guy. He can never admit he's wrong. Then Asmon talks about Aiden Ross's permaban from Twitch. Apparently it was because of unmoderated chat.
What the fuck? Unmoderated chat. Well, Aiden Ross's fanboys do say some pretty ridiculous shit. But still, like... And I don't even like Aiden Ross. For fuck's sakes. And here I am having to defend him.
So how does Hasan get a pass?
I'm not Mr. False Flag at all, but like every single thing that he did in the aftermath of the is so crazy that it's like you could not have designed a better false flag incident like this. I'm not saying it is a false flag incident at all. I'm not saying that.
Aiden Ross got banned for unmoderated chat and that was a permanent suspension.
Yeah.
And he was permanently suspended for years. Whenever you're playing into it and you're not moderating it at all, and you're not even pushing back about it publicly, you've got some problems.
Yes.
The ad revenue for Twitch is dropping dramatically. Think about how many people have sent emails to these advertisers complaining about this.
Oh, fuck. Could you imagine, like, the amount of people that have walked into maybe their kid listening to a Hasan stream and just gone, what the fuck?
Probably thousands.
My advice to every streamer on Twitch right now, you gotta leave right now, all right? You gotta leave now or you'll be forced to leave later, all right? And now that the money's gone, I mean, there's really no reason to stay there. Come to YouTube, way more fun. Also, you don't get 10 unskippable 1-minute ads in a row. Like, that's the most ridiculous shit. How does anybody watch that site, bro?
That's the problem. Like, it's so many ads just shoved in your face.
That is unwatchable. Also, just addressing that point about Hasan's chat. Yes, it is true that you can't control your community completely. Obviously, there are some unhinged people in every community. But the thing is, that is a majority of Hasan's community. And you can also denounce things, like all the time in commentary, right? Some people might go to other people's channel and harass them. And we constantly have to say, okay, don't go to their channel, don't harass them. We don't endorse that. Keep all your comments to this comment section, right? So that's one way you can sort of denounce things. You can prevent harassment. You can ban people who are out of line and that way foster a better community, right? But the truth is, Hasan's chat...
That's what Zach does. That's what Asmongold does. If there's an idiot in his chat, he doesn't care. He's just like, you're banned. Fuck off.
The reason they don't get banned, it's because he agrees with it. His chat is a perfect reflection of him. A bunch of vile, toxic, terrorist-supporting freaks with zero empathy, and I really do wonder who is behind the screen, because it's got to be the most unemployed waste of human space. Then Asmon reacts to him rage-baiting Hasan.
Let's all sit together and say a collective thank you to the government for keeping us safe.
Shut the f*** up, you fucking cock.
By the way, I knew this would make him mad when I said this.
It's such a
I really think this is one of my masterpieces.
It is.
When I thought of saying this, I was like, this is the best idea I've ever had. Safe.
Shut the f***, you fucking cockroach. Oh my god. What a disgusting little creature this is, okay? Would you debate him? Yes, but he runs away from that sort of thing because he knows he would be humiliated because all he can do is just like chirp from his hug box. And
You mean like what?
that's it.
Of course.
You'd have better luck debating a box of tissue paper than Hasan.
Yep.
But anyways, it's so funny how triggered he actually gets over Asmongold. He just cannot stand that this guy is more popular than him. Okay, moving on to popular YouTuber Meat Canyon talking about H3 and Hasan. He's basically the guy who does all those really talented animations. Meat Canyon shares his opinion on Ethan Klein and how he handles the drama surrounding him. Basically thinks he can never admit when he's wrong.
In ways, I feel bad for Ethan, or I feel for him.
It's Hunter.
I feel bad for him. I feel for Ethan in the fact that if you're a Jewish guy, your wife is from Israel, and you have, I don't know, you have all you believe in your mind, like you're a Jewish person that is seeing these things, and you know all these different. It's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to say it. Like, you feel personally connected to this, obviously, because it's religion and all this kind of stuff. The problem is, he can never say that he's wrong about anything. That is the biggest problem with all of these people. Nobody can just be like, yeah, I don't know.
That's true. Hunter's not wrong. And I like to watch Hunter all the time. I watch the Papa Meat channel a lot with Pink Hollow. And fucking Hunter will say, I don't know, all the time. And then he's got Nick to help him, like, look shit up. It's very easy to say, I don't know.
It is f***ed up. This is f***ed up. I shouldn't be overreacting to this. I feel like if he seriously would have been like, I believe this way, I believe this way, and I did overreact. I'm being a bit I'm overreacting to this right now. I really do think that people would have a different opinion. But it can never be that, though, is it? Because everybody else is fucking stupid. Everybody's against me. The chat and the communities are just as worse, man. Yep. If not worse. I'd probably say that the communities are worse. It's like all of them feel like they have like a fucking Excalibur sword in their hand, and that they have to go into any kind of like comment section or conversation just swinging immediately.
Yeah. He's not wrong. It's this crazy tribalism that people who are in these communities feel this like need to just defend everything that their person says.
That's what it feels like every time. If someone try to work it out with him, though, you know, that's fair. In my opinion, really the best thing you can do to help anybody online, don't even fucking interact with them. Don't interact with them. Don't even acknowledge it. Even with all the people being like,
oh my god, did you see what he said here? Did you see what he said here? Did you see what he said here? Did you see what he said here?
Okay, interesting take. I don't really know how much Meat Canyon knows about this drama, but if you look at H3 versus the whole Hasan group situation, and you think H3 is the one who's in the wrong here, I mean, you gotta be crazy, alright?
I don't think he's in the wrong versus Hasan. I think everybody on the internet has a little part of them that doesn't want to say I don't know, and there is something that we all overreact to. I don't think Ethan is overreacting because he's been sent literal skulls in the mail. He's not overreacting. But I think in the broader sense of YouTube and live streaming and all that, I think Hunter's probably closer to correct than incorrect.
Alright, I feel like H3 routinely admits when he gets things wrong. Asmon admits when he gets things wrong. Everybody pretty much does, except Hasan and friends. They are the only ones who never admit they get anything wrong. They keep doubling down and getting more extreme. I feel like the issue here is people lying and harassing and slandering and never taking any accountability, right? Ethan got CPS called on his kids, human skulls in the mail. They call his wife a baby killer. Like all of this unjustified harassment. And obviously, in my opinion, Hasan definitely deserves the criticism, right? So kind of weird take from him. Maybe he didn't know fully about the situation. Clearly not watching the 24 episode saga, the legendary series, better than Netflix. Tell your friends, better than Disney, better than Marvel. Just a cinematic masterpiece. Best series on YouTube. Open invitation to meet Canon. Just go and watch the series. You'll understand everything. You'll understand why these people are vile pieces of shit, and then you'll come to our side. Anyways, it seems Ethan is continuing trolling on Instagram. Here he is bringing up Hasan's Discord messages. Before Gaza rejuvenated Hasan's career, he was telling his Discord he was going to neck himself because his IRL stream only got 12,000 live viewers.
Oh, Muffin. Only 12,000 live viewers. Fuck you.
It's so sad. I think the streams are bangers, but people don't see them. We used to be a community. I hate what my community is becoming. I swear Twitch streaming isn't about the actual content. It's about whether people want to pay attention to you and not on cloud. All that shit was a banger and only 13K watched, and I'm flicking gaming at 8 p.m. I'm done. I'm only a millionaire. I hate this job. I'm not streaming today.
I hate this job.
I'm to neck myself, guys. I only got 10,000 viewers.
To neck myself. Oh my god. What a pathetic piece of just ugh. I haven't even gotten a 10th. I haven't even gotten a % of that, and I'm not.
Oh my god, what a crybaby, bro. No wonder he's so angry at Asmongold. Like, I mean, if this is your mindset and your entire life just revolves around your viewership and things like that, I mean, of course you're gonna be a miserable freak. Oh my god, somebody said it. Hasan unironically wants the war to continue because otherwise he wouldn't be pulling the same viewership. Dude, I agree. I actually agree. I'm telling you, all this comes down to is Hasan's viewer count.
Yes. That's all he cares about. That's why he wants all this to
Here we
continue.
got an iDubbbz meme. I wonder when he was happier. And then we got Ethan and iDubbbz laughing. And then we got him in the cocktail. Then we have Ethan continuing his beef with Taylor Lorenz, the hack journalist. Ethan leaks that Taylor Lorenz sent another text to his manager tonight in crybaby fashion after he exposed her for lying. Taylor sent this message to Tom. She's the final boss of concern trolling. What a disgusting human being she is. I sincerely hope Ethan gets the help he needs. He's deeply unwell and is lashing out at people who care about him. It's very sad, and it's irresponsible for people in our circle to continue to enable this type of thing. I know he's in pain, and I genuinely feel awful that he's suffering, but he needs to spend time with his children and realize the world isn't out to get him.
That's from Taylor Lorenz. Just go away, Taylor. Seriously, you were never relevant in the first place. You're not going to become relevant through this. Just go away.
This demon still doesn't get it.
No.
She's still talking about my children like they're just a prop for her to insult me through. Then we got another journalist here saying there's a whole ecosystem of content creators who post about Ethan Klein's latest target since it's an easy way to milk views and content. Hasan responds, the entire slop tuber drama focused community, I wonder who that could be, on YouTube is filled to the brim with apolitical, amoral grifters whose only foray into politics is piling on leftist content creators while maintaining this image that they're above politics.
No, nobody's talking. People who are apolitical that dunk on you are not dunking on you because this is their foray into politics. They're dunking on you because you're being horrible and inhuman.
It's basically Gamer Gets 2.0 now. Dude, for the last time, you don't have to be political to not agree with you.
Yeah.
You're just an extremist terrorist supporter who also happens to lie and slander people. That's why people don't like you. Refunds for Creator Class 3 are currently unavailable. Hi there, refunds were honored for purchasers who reached out immediately following the update and schedule. No further refund requests will be honored.
Oh, that's a well-planned event.
Creator Clash is delayed. Creator Clash is delayed to a date far in the future.
It's crazy they had Will saying this. Where's Ian? Like, shouldn't
where is
Ian be saying this? Like, what's going on? He stepped away. That's right. But he probably should say something. I mean, damn.
For me, this is a huge bummer, not only because I was bringing out a bunch of my family.
That sucks, yeah.
I was losing.
No, and that's the thing. Like, whenever somebody wants to go to an event, you have to travel. You know, maybe they get a motel, they take a day off of work, etc. So if this shit gets delayed or canceled, people lose a lot of money. So they're refusing refunds. What?
That's bullshit. That is, I'm sorry. If you are losing fighters and you basically don't know when you're going to be able to put on the event, just refund everything. I'm sorry. That is you can't just keep people's money.
What?
I'm sorry.
Wait a second. If you have an event and the event doesn't happen, I feel like you've got to give people their money back, right? Yeah. Am I crazy? Like, I mean, this is insane. It's a loss. It's fraud. Yeah. If this went to court, they would lose. Everybody knows that. You're going to go to court. Like, I mean, the law is overruling the TOS.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Always.
I think you kind of have to pay people back who want refunds, or you're going to be in serious legal trouble. And I think you're obligated to pay people back when the event is completely changed and the main fighters are dropping out, or it's even potentially canceled. Now click this video, or you got to go to a Diddy party with Thomas Piker.
Oh God. That's just cruel. Don't say that, Pegasus. That's just mean. Oh, Lord. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna stand up for a moment. Oh. Ow. Okay. Okay. What time is it here? 8:37. Okay. What's the Satoshi video? Let's see.
These are else.
Okay, this is gonna be what we end on. Let's see. Is Johnny Somali trying to escape to North Korea? Let's see. Let's find out. Okay.
These RL streamers thought it was a good idea to go to the North Korean border, and it's absolutely no one's surprise it didn't take long for them to be detained.
I'm currently standing on Chinese soil, but I'm actually the closest any person possibly can be to North Korea.
Okay, so it's not Johnny Somali, it's somebody else who's an idiot.
7? They want to us. Of course.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of a dumb idea even for Sam Pepper, and if you know anything about this guy, the bar isn't set too high. Because
I have never heard of this dude, and now I feel like I've lost something.
Sam Pepper originally became relevant back in the 2013 to 2015 prank era, and with his new fame and influence came multiple questionable decisions, like grabbing people's butt prank and...
Oh, because that's a prank. Sexual harassment.
And kidnapping and executing your best friend prank.
What the fuck?
Yes, this is the same guy who thought staging a prank where he kidnapped his best friend and faked executing him in front of his buddy's terrified eyes was peak entertainment.
What is wrong with some people? I'm sorry. What is wrong with some people? That they do this shit or they think of this shit and they're like, yeah, that's gonna be hilarious.
And yes, this actually happened a decade ago, which is insane to think about. A good reminder that time really does fly. Then, in about 2017, when IRL streaming really started to take off thanks to Ice Poseidon, he was pretty quick to pivot into this niche and stayed fairly under the radar, except for that one moment where FuzzyTube screamed at him on the No Jumper podcast.
We are not the same. I'm a champion. No. You're betas. I'm an alpha. I'm a lion.
Gay. Gay, 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 gay. You are gay.
That's a yikes from me on that one.
Fuzzy really has just been on like an on and off crash out stage for about a decade as well. But back to Sam Pepper. After the kidnapping stunt in 2015, you would think he might have hit rock bottom there, but no. Sam managed to dig himself even deeper when he got involved in the infamous Save the Kids crypto scam.
Oh no. Oh no.
In short, Sam promoted this like charity-focused token, but behind the scenes, Sam allegedly was tweaking the token's anti-dump mechanisms, allowing him and other influencers to instantly cash out big, cashing in the value and leaving fans holding worthless crypto.
That sounds familiar to me. I know, I've heard of the Save the Kids thing. Didn't Mama Max delve into that a little bit? If
And I mean, this
remember
just
correctly.
absolutely obliterated the reputation and careers of some of the original FaZe Clan members as well, who somehow were convinced into being a part of this absolute dumpster fire as well. But after being MIA for a while, he crawled back out of whatever hole he was hiding in and landed on Kick.com IRL streaming to capitalize on this new wave of IRL streaming on that platform. And if I was to recap his entire Kick saga, this video would be like an hour long.
Oh god.
But Sam was out there in Asia with Ice Poseidon and that crew when they were doing their whole Asia tour a few months back. He then had a falling out with Ice and then started solo traveling and streaming around Asia. Most recently, he's now in China. And specifically, him and a friend decided to go to the North Korean border on the Chinese side.
As you do. Just, you know, for shits and giggles, let's go visit the North Korean border.
So I guess see what would happen while live streaming there.
I'm currently standing on Chinese soil, but I'm actually the closest any person possibly can be to North Korea. Yes, the other side of that green fence, just right there, is North Korea. And if you look all the way into the distance, if I zoom in, there is North Korean people just on the other side of that fence. That's a North Korean person right there. Maybe I can get them to wave to me.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Actually, they're never going to be able to see me. They're kind of a little bit far away. And like, there's little farms over there. I saw like someone walking his cow, and like over here is like the patrol tower where they like check what's going on.
Yeah, and they're probably checking you out right now.
And then there's really nice, beautiful mountains over here. Look how green and luscious they are. And right there is a bridge. And it's the only bridge in this area that connects China and North Korea together. I think in the next video, we're going to go and check that out.
I mean, dudes are essentially clip farming in the North Korean border like we were doing back in 2019 outside of the Area 51 gate.
It's like Halloween, but we're just annoying people.
The only difference is the outcome is a little bit more predictable when you're on US soil and you don't F around.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
At least if you're an American right now.
With the sirens on. Yes.
你好，你们来一个吧。
Let me do the talking.
在机场对面那块江边，我们在这呢啊，赶紧人反过来啊。
I'm from England and he's from Germany.
啊，他俩一个是那个英国的，一个是那个德国的。啥也听我啊，你们来这里做什么？
Well, we came to film some videos. It's an interesting town for us. We wanted.
It's an interesting town for... Dude, he hasn't given you... First of all, he hasn't given you any indication that he understands what you're saying. Second of all, you're like, oh, we're just here seeing your quaint little interesting village. Do you understand how pompous you sound?
Wanted to look over, see North Korea and see what's going on.
拍些视频，
我们来这里拍摄一些视频，因为
把证件拿来一下。
He is? That's cool.
What's going on?
拍些视频，
我们来这里拍摄一些视频，因为
证件拿来一下，有没有
passport?
护照？
Well, yeah, yeah.
的情况。
Passport.
You don't want mine?
Yes.
He wants yours.
No, of course he's going to want yours. Just give it to them.
I'll try never. My whole.
Right, no, this is not a situation. Just trust me.
I feel like Sam has said this before to other friends.
Yeah, I feel like this is... He's like, just trust me, bro. Everything's
For
gonna
example,
be
like
fine.
Drew sharing. Then they ended up getting arrested together. Shout out Drew, though. He's actually killing it right now. But now, apparently, the police want to take him back to the police station.
Yeah.
Would it be convenient to meet?
I'd rather not go to the police station. No, it's a little scary for me. I'd rather not go to the police station. It's a little scary for me. We can talk here if you like. I'd rather not go to the police
He's having trouble with the translator.
station. It's a little scary for me. We can talk here if you like.
开车不去警察局吗？我有点害怕。如果你愿意的话，我们可以在这里谈谈。
不行，你没事儿，不用害怕。那个，我们只是做一个简单的了解一些情况，因为咱们这个语言确实有些不太方便。
Why don't we have these translators everywhere? This would be very helpful.
警总他们来了，他们说他们一会儿过来。
Don't be afraid of that.
Right. We can use the... We can use the translator here and we can talk. It's no problem.
So the police tell him to essentially move across the street into the shade to continue the conversation, all while they still have their passports.
Hopefully we get our passports back, otherwise we're Chinese citizens fully.
Who saw us? There are cameras probably somewhere there, right?
What?
There are cameras probably somewhere there.
No, I think probably the construction workers might have called. Like, oh, by the way, there's, you know, like doing that job.
Yeah.
Let's just cross like right to this, no, right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
走过来帮我发一个信。
Okay, so after being detained there for over an hour, they ended up letting him go after
Well, that's lucky.
they interviewed them about their plans, where they're going, and what they were doing moving forward.
That had to take forever to get through that using the translator like
The
that.
problem is, it seems like they weren't fully truthful about their plans. And then later on, they actually admitted that on the stream.
Oh, smart.
It's a pity that you have to travel, and I wish you a safe journey on the... Chef. Thank you, amazing. Bye-bye. You guys are great. We love you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks for your nice wishes. It's pleasant time with you guys. We'll do it again.
He will now take the weed plant he recorded.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
去哪儿?
Yeah, take us.
The bridge.
You can take us back to where you got us from. I think that was a very interesting time.
Extremely interesting. The best what can happen. 10 of 10.
You guys are so lucky that you guys didn't get this is gonna get worse.
I feel like that went about as well as it could. All of Asia seems to be on high alert when it comes to IRL streamers. And then, of course, things become even more heightened when IRL streamers go to the North Korean border.
Very calculated conversations and how I hide everything and like...
In the movements already, like, it was perfect. That's exactly like how you have to do it.
And I have great videos, but maybe I should post them when I leave China.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after you gave them exactly your number from the hotel.
That's fine.
I had 0.
No, but bro,
Yeah,
they called the hotel. They called it.
Yeah,
so if I would have lied to them, they would have just called the hotel.
I would give them just not exactly, just...
Don't say that shit in front of your camera. What is the matter with
2
you?
numbers next rooms. Because they basically... I think
yes, but they called them. I watched them. Yes.
I don't know about you, but that's not really a conversation that I feel like should be streamed while they're still currently in China.
I knew that one was like I knew that one we had to be really careful with. For sure.
Yeah, and they saw the chat, right? They saw it.
What?
They saw the chat, but I didn't realize what it is. The police.
Oh, no, he did.
Yes, I know.
No, he realized completely what it was. He said, "Are you live streaming?" The Chinese really know about live streaming. He saw the chat and he said, "Are you live streaming?" Like quickly locked the phone.
Well, I mean, if
Wow. Wow. So you're gonna admit that on your stream? You guys are dumb.
If you're so worried about it, why are you still streaming that?
Yeah.
I mean, this might not be the last time they run into the police over there. Inherently, at least from what I could see, they weren't doing anything wrong here.
No,
but when you're admitting to misleading the police and government officials and wanting to do so while you're still there, I'm not sure that's the smartest thing to do.
No, especially while you're live. Like, that's a conversation, if you're gonna have it, like, that you have by, like, in your hotel room, like, off camera, like, holy shit, we got lucky that we didn't get arrested, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's something you talk about off camera, dude. What the fuck are you two doing? Oh my lord. That was crazy. Oh my gosh. I still have children to put to sleep because I can hear one of them still outside. So I don't know if I will be gaming tonight. We'll see. Hopefully I will. If this child goes to sleep before 10 o'clock, then I will be gaming. And I will see you guys later, and we'll be doing the just chatting stuff during the day tomorrow. Catching up on some more Hasan things, I'm sure, and some politics and everything else. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for my first stream back. Hopefully we'll get some more people in tomorrow, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.